evening, Seattle University students. My name is Diego Hindman.
And my name is Rania Kaur.
And welcome to another evening of Record Seattle U, where we give you the latest in news, sports, and culture at Seattle University. Today we're covering Mecha's Celebración event, James Comey's talk on campus last night, and the Spectator cover photo that's sparking a lot of controversy all over social media. But first, let's get into some other news, Rania.
Sounds good. Congratulations to Professor David Madsen for receiving the 2018 Distinguished Faculty Award. Dr. Madsen is a longtime member of the University Honors Program and the History Department, and he continues to be involved in various committees working to better the university.
Wow, congratulations, Dr. Madsen. Were you wondering why so many people were wearing green today? Well, it's one of Green Dot's initiatives to start conversations about power-based violence on campus. You can stop by Hawk in the Student Center or ask someone with a Green Dot pin for more information.
Our competition for Dr. Chris Paul's new book, Toxic Meritocracy of Video Games, Why Gaming Culture is the Worst, is on. Take a selfie with Chris Paul and tag @RecordSeattleU in the post to get a free copy of his book.
Don't forget to tag us. And another congratulations to Shasti Conrad for receiving the 2018 Outstanding Alumna Award. Shasti graduated from SU in 2007 with a degree in Sociology and International Studies. And she followed that with going to work for the Obama and the Sanders presidential campaigns. So congratulations, Shasti.
Congratulations. Seattle U took 6th place in the waste diversion of the Recyclemania competition this year. 170 schools across the country competed. Tell us how you think we can compete next year to take 1st place.
Wow, 6th place, that's not bad, really.
It's really not.
Well, this past week, The Spectator released an issue featuring a photo from the drag show on the cover. Copies of the paper were removed from multiple locations on campus by a Father Lee, who said, quote, "I was offended by a recent edition of The Spectator, whose cover contained what I considered an inappropriate, risque photograph." Father Sunborg released a statement that stated although he did not approve of the removal of the paper, he agreed that the photo was inappropriate and should not have been published. These events sparked conversation on campus about the freedom of the press and Seattle U's commitment to be inclusive and accepting. On the other hand, Triangle Club responded by creating the Leg Up For campaign, which challenges students to create the pose in support of the student on the cover. So, students, if you're in support of the Leg Up For campaign, Triangle Club, and other trans and queer students on campus, post a photo like this and hashtag it Leg Up For. And my leg is now shaking because I've been here for a long time. But hey, we'll keep on going with the news for you.
Hawk and Oma are providing a queer sex ed event this Thursday, April 26th at 7:30 p.m. The event will be led by Sister Nurse Joy, a drag queen emergency nurse, and the Northwest Network. Come out to participate in the conversation and learn something new.
Well, Monday, April 30th, the WAVE Foundation will be hosting a self-defense workshop on campus. Learn to recognize red flags that precede sexual assault. For more information, email Dominique Mariansky at drm@seattleu.edu. The workshop will be held in the Student Center, room 160 at 7 p.m.
The 2018 Fuse exhibition happened this past Thursday and showcased the work of 17 designers from the digital design major here at Seattle University. This year's exhibition focused on the melding of the minds to create, innovate, and initiate change. 100% of the proceeds from the event went to Vibrant Palette, which is a day program focused on creating visual art for adults with developmental, mental, and physical disabilities. Congratulations on such a great event, designers. The exhibition continues until May 10th, so be sure to check it out.
Wow. Well, over the weekend, we had the chance to check out Seattle U Mecha's Celebración, Mi Gente. Let's check it out.
Celebración is the Mecha Legacy event. It was absent for a couple years before I came here, and last year I decided to bring it back. This year we're kind of like reinventing it and making it more of a dance, more intimate, and more of a way like instead of us projecting and producing our culture, we're gonna like share it with everybody and be able to dance with everybody.
So pretty much what we're trying to do with our legacy event is kind of recognize and give back to the workers here at Seattle University, specifically the BONEP workers and the custodial workers.
It's more of a fundraiser because we are fundraising for all the money that we get here is supposed to go towards a barbecue that we're going to make for them and serve for them, and more like like an intimate setting so we can sit down and talk to them.
So overall, what do you hope people will take away from this event?
Just acknowledging those who do a lot here on campus, regardless of like their status or whatever it may be, because not only students or faculty or staff, there's, other workers who do a lot for our community.
People should take away our culture, as in dancing, how bright it is, and see us. I feel like there's not a lot of Latino representation on this campus, and so this is our way of like saying like, hey, like we are here. There's a lot of us here.
We've got some pretty sweet stories coming out of our SU athletics this week, including broken school records, walk-off wins, and a rising NBA prospect.
That's right. But to start, let's take a look at our women's golf team, who played in the WAC championship last week. Freshman Vendela Fromm played in her first WAC championship and outperformed many of her opponents, finishing in the third place overall. When asked about the outcome of the tournament, head coach Mark Chandonnet said, "I'm excited about our future, and I hope this makes the team hungry to improve." Congratulations, ladies.
Our softball team played a tough-fought series
Pitch
against
on the way.
Grand
This one is
Canyon
hit
University
into
over
right
the
center
weekend.
field,
Losing
and
2
it's going
games
to drop.
and winning
And
their
here
games on
comes
Saturday.
Natalie Montgomery to
Teams
score the
ended
winning
6-1.
run.
All of
Mitchell
them
drops
ended
in a
with
bloop
one
single
run
into.
separating the two teams.
Wow.
After losing the first 2 games, the Redhawks were fed up, and junior Emma Mitchell hit a walk-off single to take the lead and the win on Saturday.
Great job, Emma Mitchell. Seattle University's track and field team attended an invitational in Walnut, California.
And really, only 160 pounds. Sean Sutton hits a fly ball to left field. As long as that ball gets down, and the Redhawks are gonna win. I thought that Elijah Alexander was gonna get that, and the Redhawks have a walk-off win on a RBI single from Sean Sutton, as Austin Lively rounds third and scores the winning run.
Pulled this off.
Check it out.
And really, only 160 pounds. Sean Sutton hits a fly ball to left field. As long as that ball gets down, and the Redhawks are gonna win. I thought that Elijah Alexander was gonna get that, and the Redhawks have a walk-off win on a RBI single from Sean Sutton, as Austin Lively rounds third and scores the winning run.
NBA playoffs are underway, and various players like James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and LeBron James have been lighting up the postseason. Every year, thousands of players around the world try to make it into the world's most prestigious basketball league to pursue their dreams to win a championship and hoist the Larry O'Brien Trophy above their heads. One SU basketball player, senior Aaron Menzies, has decided to join this race, and he announced last Friday that he will declare for the 2018 NBA Draft. Menzies ended this season with All-WAC second team and WAC All-Defensive Team honors. We'll have the privilege of speaking with him on the show soon, so we'll keep you posted on that. But in the meantime, last night, James Comey came to Seattle University to talk about his newest book, A Higher Loyalty, Truth, Lies, and Leadership. And Record, our crew over here, and the Spectator had been granted access to attend the report on the event. However, as per James Comey's request, we and the Spectator had our press passes revoked a few days prior. Thankfully, I'm joined by Senior Communication and Media Studies major Haley Roussel, who attended the event. Haley, how's it going? Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well. So the first thing I want to know is, what made you personally want to go to see this event? Why did you buy a ticket in the first place?
Right, sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me here tonight. I think with everything going on in our country right now, how could you not want to go see what he had to say last night? I felt just a personal duty to go. Granted, I could get a ticket. And just be able to see firsthand what he had to say.
Yeah. And so what exactly did he really have to say? If you could kind of pinpoint maybe 3 takeaways from the talk, what would they be?
Sure. I think he kind of did that for us in his talk. It was very clear from the beginning that it was mostly for his book promotion. So he was talking a lot about his point of making the book and what drove him. Specifically, he talked about the fact that he was kind of hesitant to write a book at first, just because he always laughed about those kind of people who wrote memoirs, and he was like, it's kind of an ego deal to write about yourself like that. So he's like, I'm not one of those guys. I wrote this mix between a memoir a leadership book, because my
Okay.
wife said that would be more exciting.
So it's kind of more to like teach people how to be a good leader.
Right. So
Okay.
his talk as a whole talked about what is good leadership, and with that he talked about the necessity of truth and ethics,
Okay.
which certainly in our day and age had some opportunities to throw some shade,
Right.
which was great. So yeah, I think one of the things that I really took away last night was a story he told about good leaders and how good leaders should be confident. Sure. But with that kind of confidence, you need to have an ability to laugh and an ability to make fun of yourself and joke. And so we talked about all the good leaders in the world, and he talked specifically about Obama and Bush.
Right.
And he said, these leaders, as I was looking at, the time that they served, they laughed a lot. They had, their own sort of style.
Yeah,
their
Obama
way.
was a super
Oh,
humorous
yeah.
guy. There was a roast of Obama one time, and like
Right.
Seth Meyers
And he
performed
played
in
along
and
with
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
He was, exactly. They could laugh, and he thought to himself, with Trump right now, I don't know that I've ever heard him laugh. So he went on YouTube and he looked up videos of Trump laughing, and he said, unless I missed a very hysterical part of the internet, they just don't exist. I found one video of him, and it was more of like a ha-ha, like a Hillary dig. And he said, to not be able to laugh at yourself must mean that you're very insecure, because to laugh at yourself means risking yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of truth in that.
Yeah. Well, one tweet that Comey said, he mentioned that he mentions 3 different presidents in his book. 2 are examples of good and ethical leadership,
Right.
and 1 is used as a counterpoint.
Sure.
And so does he really actually do that? Does he actually like kind of have like President A versus the counterpoint? Or is it more just like, does he kind of delve into each president's style of leadership and then go into Trump?
Sure. I mean, as someone who hasn't read the book personally, I can't necessarily comment on that. From what I understood from the evening and the way he laid it out, is it's more of like a story of his time in leadership and the kinds of leadership he saw while he was, making his way through his life.
So more his experience under their leadership rather than...
I mean, somewhat, but it talked about it before, from my understanding, he talks about before he even became the director of the FBI.
Oh, okay.
So he talks about not just the presidents per se, that's part of it, but he talks about his decision when it came to Martha Stewart and other big moments in his career that weren't just defined by different presidents.
Right. And so as a communication student, what does that mean? What do you want other communication students to know about this talk, and other SU students to know about this talk?
I mean, I think that goes along just with the theme of fake news today. You know, I think whenever possible, do the research yourself. And I felt very fortunate to be able to do that last night.
Yeah. Do you plan on reading the book?
I came away from last night and I was like, I really want to get my hands on one of those books. Like, it just sounds really interesting. And just his life in general sounds interesting.
Yeah, it sounds really, really fascinating. Well, Haley, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Really happy to have you on here. And thank you to all of our viewers for joining us for another episode of Record SU. You can tune in next week to see coverage of the SGSU election and the Cherry Blossom Festival at UW. In addition, if you're interested in becoming a part of the Red Hawk Entertainment Network, part of this team, if you have a cool little tidbit of information like Haley over here that you want to be interviewed about, let us know. Tag us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, tag us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, tag us on Instagram at @RecordSeattleU. And don't forget, we have a Friday show too, and it's a comedic show, so tune in on Fridays to check out that show. And we'll see you next week, Seattle.